105. And this is why. So hello everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and we are in winter. And I just wanted to walk through my deck today and show you what's going on, and I have done nothing as far as maintenance. These are the onions that I planted. These are actually baby walking onions. And look at this. Put some seeds in there, and I've got some red vein sorrel growing in there. I haven't brought it in, so it's doing fine outside. And this is all the leeks that are still growing. Gary grabbed a lot and put in his garden. I've just left them out here. We have been cold. Look at all this. This tomato plant, the Brad's, it's almost gone. I don't know if it'll come back in the spring, but I'll leave it right now. I've got other tomato plants that are still growing, so they're still doing good. So we'll see. I'm not sure. And there's another one over here that's doing really well. Like I said, there is zero maintenance going on here. Let me step back and show you the wall. Some of the tomato plants here are still growing and doing okay. The ones on the bottom are not. I'm collecting anything, as far as leaves, because that's all going to go back, and that is going to be compost, correct? And grow food, lots of food for you. So it's a progress, a slow progress of what's going on as far as spring when it comes. So right now, this is what's going on in the winter. This is oregano. Oregano is important to me because I've now started to make our own pizza dough, and I love fresh oregano. So oregano, it died back, it got really cold, and then it just started coming back again. I do have to get in here and get a lot of this out because it's too compact. There's too many roots in there, so I'll be cutting that out and dividing it. I've got mint up against the wall. That's chocolate mint still growing. This tomato plant's growing okay. There's some walking onions down there. There's lettuce coming through down here. Lettuce. And then this is garlic chives. We see the lettuce? That is a pomegranate tree. I didn't plant it. It just came up in the compost, but it's dying back for the winter. And like I said, more mint and more garlic chives, more mint and weeds even. Let's see what's over here. This squash is still growing down here, but it's not going to do anything. I'm going to probably end up composting it. This is orange mint. And then this is doing interesting. Look at that. Look at the tomatoes. This is the midnight snack, and it doesn't seem to really mind the cold too much. It does need a little grooming, but it's doing okay. And I have not picked that zucchini yet, but what's funny is I'm growing more. I keep getting more zucchini. So look at all the zucchini growing in here, and I've been picking them small because they're not going to get big this time of the year in the cold. And baby walking onions, I'm trying to get through here quick because I don't want to drag this on. They're doing really good. I've walked through the garden, and I keep these containers, any food container, throw potting soil in it, any type of compost you've got, and I am collecting that, the walking onions. And I want to make sure I get as many as I can and not have a lot of them die. Then I bought some thyme, and I broke a piece off already. Look at this. And it is doing really, really well. So I've got it sitting out here, and I want to get the thyme in its own container because I've been using a lot of thyme and oregano and basil. Here's my purple basil over here. I've been using that to make my pizza. And then I've even been using the tricolored sage. Looking a little sad, wasn't happy with the freezing cold weather we had. But, it's still alive, and it's still doing really well. Like I said, I have not groomed anything. There's a leaf on the ground. We do not throw leaves away. We put them somewhere. They'll compost down in the soil, and that's what I want. I don't want to throw leaves away. So all in all, this is what's going on with the deck. And a lot of the stuff, this is papalo seed, is going to die back. Look at all the papalo seed. I have bags of it. Maybe I'll come back and collect it. And this is seed. Oh, I've got to collect that. That is seed from garlic chives. Even though that falls and grows everywhere, it's growing down there. And this is just green sorrel from the garden. There's some celery or parsley coming up. Look at this. The Malabar spinach down here is still growing seeds. And look at all the baby Malabar spinach coming up on its own. Look at that. The seeds fall and they grow. See, it's kind of died back. It's no more leaves because it's just too cold. This is an asparagus. Asparagus seeds got in there and grew, so we'll see what happens with that. Celery's old. You could keep celery growing and growing. So all in all, I mean, this is kale. Now, this is really cool. This is dinosaur kale. And this is coming off of this old dinosaur kale here. Now I'm calling it old because this is a cutting that I took off of my old one in the garden, the one that's about probably going to be 5 years old this spring. And it went to seed, and so when I put a piece in here, the plant is really older. It's kind of like grafting something. The plant is older than it thinks. It went to seed. A lot of the young plants I have found don't always go to seed. So we're going to collect the seed. I just want a little bit, and I'll show you how I collect it in a white container. And why do I use white? Because they're black seeds and they're easy to see when you collect it. So we're going to collect the seeds, and I'll show you that right now. So this is the way I collect dinosaur kale seeds. It's cold. A really good white container, and now I'm just going to collect the seed pods that the birds did not eat yet. I don't need that many. Let's just collect a few. Birds have eaten most of them, but we don't need that many. How many dinosaur kales do we need? Oh, I can't wait for summer. Or warm spring. Should do it. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to separate these and put them away until spring. Now here, once I've got the seeds in there, I'm just going to break the pods apart. See, there's seeds inside these pods. If I wanted to, I could just save pods and all, but this is all, that's compost. And these are pods, just roll them in your hand. This is for dinosaur kale. You don't need a ton of dinosaur kale to grow, but I want to save a few of the seeds. So the birds got a lot, now the rest are for me. I'm gonna crumble them up and the seeds will fall out. They're little tiny black seeds. And now, look at that. There they are. And they roll, and you can just collect them that way, and I can just put all these. I don't need all this. What I do is I keep junk mail envelopes. I like the ones that have the plastic. See the plastic? And this way no seeds are going to fall out. If they've got an open window, I don't bother with it. And just put dino kale. It's December 2019, so I know where, it came from, and what year. And I'm going to put deck, because this is my deck garden, just for me. So I'll know in case something special, I'll know where it came from. And that's it. And the seeds just easily have separated from the pods. And I'm just going to collect them. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to save the seeds and plant them later. And then I can get them going and have dinosaur kale. Just put them in the envelope. Nothing to it. With the white container, I can easily see all the seeds, so I can get them all if I want. That's it. Now I've got all the seeds. I keep it in a plastic container in the house. You want to keep it in a dry place. Don't do what I did once, store them over the washing machine in a cupboard. That's not good. Too much humidity. That's it. Now you've got the seeds, and you can go plant them when you're ready. So that is how easy it is to collect and save the seeds. See, even in here, there's baby dinosaur kale coming up. This is coming up from the seeds that I've picked and just thrown in there. And then I've got some Swiss chard, and this is that potato plant. I stuck a lot of pieces in there. And so that's I'm holding it for spring. I can move it. It's kind of like a little nursery there. This is just some tomatillos coming up. Most of them have died back. And if I leave the old ones back here, they're rotting away, they'll grow in the spring. So this is lettuce, so it's really good. Little tomato plant came up. I don't know if it's going to do anything. There's my onions I planted. These are real, true onions, so they're going to grow a big onion. So they're growing good. These are just some blueberry plants that went dormant for the winter. That's basically it. There's nothing else going on. It's winter, I'm cold, and I've got more than enough food here because let's say if I'm going to make pizza, I've got all my herbs are growing really good, so there's no problem with that. I've got my oregano, my thyme, my basil, I've got parsley, I've got sage, I've got everything I need, and then I grab some onions if I don't have walking onions, which I do. I can always grab some tops off of that. So all in all, that's what's going on the deck. Not that much, not that fascinating, but you know what? It's still got a lot of food. Want to make mint tea? I've got mint growing. I've got everything going that I need for the winter. And look at the tomatoes here. Is that cool? This one is growing even in my garden. This type grow really well. Look back here. They don't mind the cool weather and they do really, really well. I'm going to get a lot of those growing. Here's more here. And I've been picking those and we even have them in the back room. So that's about it for the garden. And we'll see how the deck goes. Let's walk over here real quick. I don't think I did here. Just lettuce that is still going to seed, which is okay. Because I grab the lettuce seeds, I sprinkle them around, and I end up with this. Big lettuce leaves that I can make a wrap out of. Isn't that gorgeous? And then down there, I've got my crust growing, and that's my upland crust. And then I've got more garlic chives, more upland crust, more mint, and some parsley down there. And this is onion chives that are going to flower, see? And they're going to have seeds. I think this is an apple tree. So that's all that's going on. The tomato plant is still doing really well in throwing tomatoes. It's throwing tomatoes because it's up against a warm wall. So that plant is doing really good. That's got its own microclimate. This wall is warm. It's actually hot to touch. So the tomatoes are in their own little hothouse growing up against the wall. And that's something to keep in mind. You have microclimates all over, whether it's your yard, whether it's a deck, it doesn't matter. You have microclimates on a patio. If you plant something up against a wall and it's getting any sunlight, it's got a microclimate because just the heat will just come off the wall. Look at that. I can feel the heat right here and here. And that's what's keeping that tomato plant grow really good and continue to throw flowers. Look at all the new flowers and then grow tomatoes that we continue to pick and continue to eat. So with that, just wanted to do a quick update on the deck because I haven't done that for a while on my container gardening. So have a great day. Look at the hillsides. We have had nothing but rain almost every day. Today's like the first day in a long time, no rain. So I figured I better grab the camera and go outside. So with that, have a great day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.